Baba Booey.
Welcome back, everybody, to the final segment of the GioMoShow. It's football therapy, baby. Yeah. Give it to me. Yeah. Let's talk about the NFL. Let's talk about the Detroit Lions. Let's talk about the picks coming up at the end of the show. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to watch beginning to end of the Lions at the Chargers. Things going on Sunday, busy Sunday. Don't worry about it. But I heard enough talk around town. I saw a little bit of it at the beginning, and I kind of got the gist of it throughout the week. And some of my takeaways is that I'm ecstatic. I'm excited. I'm not worried. Some people, so you got a mixed bag in this game, which we won, so I don't know why it's so mixed. But one camp is impressed and happy with how the offense did and how they won in a different style than they have in previous games, while the other camp is very concerned about the defense and very concerned that the game had to come down to basically a fourth down call and had to kind of gamble for the win. Now, are either of them wrong or any of them wrong? No. There is reason to be joyous, there's reason to be excited, and there's reason to be, in awe, and to a degree, of how the Lions did. But there's also reason to be worried and a little bit concerned about the performance of the defense. They gave up 38 points. And they, for the standard that the team is set on defense, that's not quite good enough. That's almost what the Ravens did to us. That's what the Seahawks almost did, kind of did to us. Scored up a lot of points, and we ended up losing those games. So some people see that we barely squeaked out of this one. I don't quite see it that way. The way I see it with the defense is that, and this kind of applies to the team as a whole. So I already told you, I'm excited and I'm happy about the win because they won in a different style. Because now, I think after this game, we've won in, or have played in, every kind of game. We've played the games where the defense is dominant. Talk about the Falcons game, the Bucs game, and the Raiders game. The defense was the main show. We played games where the offense was dominant. Think about the Packers game and kind of think about the Chargers game too. We played a game where it was really close, but we lost it. That was the Seahawks game. We played games where it was really close and we won it. That was the Chargers game, and that was also the Chiefs game. We played games where we demolished the opponent, that being the Carolina game. And we also played a game where we got demolished, that being the Ravens game. So already coming into Week 11, the Detroit Lions have played in almost every kind of game possible. So that gets me excited because not only have we been through all those situations and are 7-2, first of all, but it's that now there's experience with all kinds of teams. So if we have to face a team that gives us trouble, maybe the offense isn't clicking, maybe knock on wood, another offensive player goes down, and it's not going to be running as efficiently as possible, or the machine isn't going to be running as efficiently as possible. Well, we've played games where that's happened, and the defense has stepped up, and the defense has played to that level to get us still the win. Okay, well, what happens if we get, the doors blown off us on the defensive side? Well, we got the offense to be able to keep pace and to get the win regardless. So I'm not scared of other teams, especially the teams that we got coming up now. Especially, I'm not scared of the Bears or the Packers or the Saints or the Bears again or the Broncos, Vikings and Cowboys a little bit, but I'm not concerned. I'm not throwing my hands up. I'm not pulling the fire alarm. The team is 7-2. The team has played every way possible. The team is successful. And now we're kind of in the best shape that we've been in all season. This game was the first game, this being the Chargers game, the first game where we truly had the 1-2 punch of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. This is where that kind of imagination, that plan, that the reason that we got Gibbs and Montgomery is to do what they did in Los Angeles. To have that hard-nosed bowling ball, bashing gash runner up between the tackles in David Montgomery. To have that, along with the flashy, the pass game threatening, the speedy Jahmyr Gibbs. Montgomery had 12 for 116 with a touchdown and a 75-yard run along with that. Gibbs had 14 carries, 77 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And it looks like Gibbs was purely running the ball this game. But we now have that 1-2 punch. Before, there were some games where we had just Montgomery and it was just kind of the one punch. And then there were games like the Raiders where we just had the one punch of Gibbs. But now we got the 1 and the 2 punch in the backfield. And that's crazy. That is crazy. Almost 200 yards rushing just between the two of them on, what would that be, 26 carries? Dog. That's really good. I'm happy about that. That's what we've been waiting for the whole time. And it's kind of what I've been talking about before, where I'm not picky as to who gets more carries, who gets more touches. They both are going to work. They're both fantastic offensive pieces with different skill sets that you could apply in different kinds of games. If you got to run out the clock, if you got to control the ball, give it to Montgomery. If you got to score and keep up and you need a big play, you got Gibbs. It's not a battle between the two. It's just two good running backs. And I'm ecstatic about it. I'm very happy about it. And going back to the defense, I understand the concerns, like I mentioned before. But for me, and I kind of liked what Campbell was saying in the post-game press conference in regards to fourth down calls, what made him do it, thought process behind it. He knew that the defense wasn't playing good that game. So he wasn't going to put the defense in a position where they had to stop the Chargers at the end of the game, because he knew from the game that they weren't going to be able to do that. So he adapted and he played the game accordingly. Sometimes that's going to happen. And that comes with, like I was talking about before, us playing in every possible game situation. Campbell knows how to manage it. He's not going to force something that hasn't been working. He's going to change it up, and he's going to do what's best for the team to win. I like that. That gives me confidence. And that keeps, I'm not as worried going into the last 3 games of the season against the Vikings and the Cowboys and the Vikings again. And then even into the playoffs. I'm not worried because we've seen it all. And we've done it all. And those that we didn't do, I trust that we'll do better next time. So now looking, I'm going to give just probably a couple minutes on now the Lions and Bears game coming up this weekend. There is nothing on that Bears team that scares me. Nothing that I've seen this season. I'm going to pause for a second. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that there's nothing that scares me. The game against Washington, and even the game before that against the Broncos, that is a little bit scary. Sure, it's a bit of a spook. It's a bit of a goosebumps level of scariness. But do they scare me to the degree that we'll lose the game? Absolutely not. DJ Moore can have 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. I don't think they're beating us. Justin Fields can rush for like 95 and throw for 250. Or some crazy, or some ground and air performance. I don't think they're still going to beat us, even with that. So I'm not scared of this or the other teams in the upcoming schedule. Sure, the Broncos have gotten better. Are we going to lose to the Broncos? I don't think so. Sure, The Vikings have gotten better. Am I going to be scared of them? Not to the degree that we're going to lose. Maybe we'll split with them. But they don't threaten me for division or for beating us in the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen. So I am, in a word, supremely confident, at least in this game against the Bears and in the next one that's going to be in Soldier Field. I don't think they're a good team, and I don't think they can hang with us. Simple as that. I don't care that they got Montez Sweat and paid him a lot of money in the middle of the season. That doesn't bother me because we got the best O-line in the league. And even DJ Moore, what else is there on the offense? Khalil Herbert? Deontay Foreman? Not against our rushing defense. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. And you can focus on DJ Moore and take him away, and there's not much else. So we got it against the Bears, and we got it against the Packers too. Let's just do that. Let's be real here. Thanksgiving's going to taste a lot better this year. Come on now. Let's go.